let me say a little bit about what my plan is. And we'll be working with the core, but a little differently than we did. Yeah, you're like, oh no. It'll be a little different. Some of you did my core class last week. And we'll be working specifically with cat-cow and how that moves the pelvis and the spine. And what I want you to think about as we progress through our class is using engagement through the front, like think this low part of the belly to support the back, almost like you've got a little airbag in there. And when this becomes engaged, then this can hopefully release a little bit. And some of the abdominal work will be with a rounded back, and some of it will be more of a neutral. And then some of it will actually be in a little bit of a back bend, which is sometimes not the way we think of engaging through here, but I hope it'll make sense when we get there. You guys have any questions? No, okay. So if you have a strap, we're gonna set it up like this. You guys in the room have this kind, so you'll stick it through the both buckles and then feed it back through the one so that it latches. Now, if you're at home and you have a strap that doesn't latch, you could tie it in a knot, or if you're using like a belt, you could just hook it like a belt. So it's about this big. No, you got it. I think, yeah, you got it. Just pull the tail. Just pull the tail more. Yeah. And then we'll lay down and we'll start with the strap here around your legs. So you'll put the legs through the hole. And for me, it feels best if the strap is close to the knees. For you, it might feel better a little bit lower down the leg. You decide, but it's have it on the thigh end of the knee. So slide it, no, go more this direction. Even more. Yeah, there it is. There it is. And then the size of your loop, when you press out the thighs, you want the thighs to line up roughly parallel to each other. Let me help you with your buckle real quick. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I was born in the 80s and they had those belts back then, and this is how you did your belt. So all right. So you guys are too young for that. So we'll come lay down on your back with this contraption on your legs. Yeah. And then I've got to adjust all my stuff here. Yeah. And as you start to settle in, first just take a moment to land and notice how your body meets the floor. And specifically notice the low back curve. For some of us, there'll be a large arc there, like you could stick your hand through. For some of us, it'll feel flatter. The low back will touch the floor. And then for some of us, it'll be somewhere in between, so there'll be some space. Now, if you are sensing some curvature in there, notice where the high point of the curve is. Is it closer to the ribs or closer to the pelvis? And also notice the back of the pelvis, the two sides. See if it feels heavier on one side or tilted on one side. And then begin just to notice your breath. And how your body naturally moves with the breath. And notice where that movement is at the moment. Sometimes it's lower down in the belly, sometimes it's in the chest, sometimes it's both. Now we'll begin to slowly lengthen out the exhales. So the inhale, just let it happen. And then on the exhale, go nice and slow. And as the exhale happens, see if you can hollow the belly. So the belly moves down. And then on the inhale, you'll let that relax. And take that a couple more times. So nice slow exhale, letting the belly hollow down. Yeah, and you'll likely feel some natural movement going on in the pelvis and the low back. Just let that happen, but let it be about the breath and the belly for the moment. Yeah, now you might even find at the end of the exhale, there's just a natural little pause on empty breath. If that feels okay, add in the little pause at the end. But just whenever you need to breathe in, let it happen. Don't try to hold the breath. Yeah. Now we'll add on here. The next time you exhale on the pause, press the thighs out into your strap or your imaginary strap if you don't have one. And then on the inhale, let the pressure go, let the belly relax. On the exhale, the belly hollows down, and then on empty, you'll press into the strap. Great. So every time you press into the strap, you'll likely feel the weight in your feet shift to the pinky side of the foot. When you're pressing out, see if you can root down through the ball of the big toe, which should even out the weight on your feet. Great. So we'll keep going with this. Some of you will add on and some of you will just stick with this. You decide. So next time you exhale, the belly hollows down. On empty breath, press into the strap and let the hips peel up off the floor for a bridge. You'll inhale at the top. On the exhale, lower yourself down. And once you've landed, let go of the pressure on the strap. Inhale, a little arch in the back. And then on the exhale, let the belly hollow down. On empty, you'll press into the strap, lift the hips. Inhale at the top. Exhale to lower down. Relax the pressure on the strap. Inhale, relax the belly, just natural curve in the spine. Exhale, the belly hollows down. So keep going with that, a couple more rounds. Now, if the breathing that I mentioned is throwing you off, don't worry about it. Just breathe any way that makes sense. But do wait for that hollow belly before you lift the hips. We're going to change the pattern a little bit. So the next time the hips are in the up position, stay there. And then if you're not doing the bridges, just stay with the hips on the floor, but you can still do this next bit. So keep some pressure out into your strap. Make the left foot become heavier and the right foot lighten up, but don't actually lift it. And you'll feel some work going on through the back of the left leg. And then we'll switch. Press the right foot heavily down and let the left side lighten up. Let's do that one more time on each side. And the whole time here, we're continually pressing into the strap. Yeah. And now see if you can create that energy, that effort on both sides at the same time. So both heels press down. And then to get out of this, relax and come back down to the floor. Just take a moment here. Maybe take a little wiggle if that feels good. Then we're going to change the pattern again. And those of you who are not bridging up, you'll just keep doing the back and forth with the breath work. So if you're coming with me here, let's inhale. On the exhale, hollow the belly and then press the thighs into the strap. Let the hips lift. And if it feels okay to lift the heels, do that. Now you'll just breathe normally here. Stretch the arms up by your head and pretend that somebody's pulling your arms towards the back of the room. As you slowly start to lower down, see if you can go one vertebra at a time and pretend somebody else is pulling your pelvis down away from your head, creating some traction here in the spine. And then once the hips land, lower the arms, lower the heels. Let's do that pattern again. So you'll inhale at the bottom. Exhale, hollow the belly. On the empty breath, press into the strap, lift the hips, lift the heels, lift the arms. Just breathe normally here as you come slowly, slowly down. You might also add in a tiny little side-to-side motion in the hips, like a little sway. Yeah. And then go ahead, take one more round on your own. And if you don't quite remember the pattern, just make something up. Yeah. All right, friends, once you've landed, let's go ahead and take the strap away. Let's keep it handy and release the legs down. Take a moment, anything you want. Maybe windshield wipers, maybe just a little stretch. Anything that feels good. And then let's pause and stretch the left leg out long and bring the right knee in towards the chest. Just give a little squeeze. You can hold on right in front of the shin. Let's breathe in here. On the exhale, lift the left leg, press the shin forward, and then lift the head and the shoulders. Yeah, good. And then on the inhale, come back down. So let's take two more of those. On the exhale, you'll lift, find that hollow belly, and pause on empty breath. And on the inhale, you'll come back down. Let's take it just one more time. Yeah, nice job, you guys. And then down we come, let's twist, bringing the right leg over to the left. Any amount is fine. Yeah, and you know, while we've got the right leg, let's do one more thing. Come back to center, keeping the knee bent. Pick up, hold your head with the right hand, and then set up the right leg like a tabletop position and take the right hand just inside the right knee. Inhale. On the exhale, press hand and leg, lift the head and lift the other leg. Yeah. And then on the inhale, back off. Let's do that two more times. Now, if lifting the head and the left leg is too much, just keep that down and keep the pressure on the right leg and left hand. Yeah, good, good. Okay, and then relax. We'll change sides. Bring the left leg in, just give it a little squeeze. That's it. And then we'll do the straight through the center lift. So breathe in. On the exhale, belly drops down, right leg lifts, left shin presses, and we come up. Stay empty for a moment on breath. Inhale to come down. Good. Let's do two more of those. Let the belly hollow down as you lift. And last one. Great. Let's take our twist, bringing the left leg right. Any amount is fine. And this will be our last one here on the back. So come to center, take a tabletop of the left leg, right hand to the inside of the knee, left hand holds the head. Breathe in. On the exhale, lift the right leg, the head, and then press left hand and knee into each other. I can't talk. Inhale to come down. Do that one two more times. It's just a little different effort when we press this way. And one more. Good, good. Okay, come on down. I said that was the last one. There's still one more. Bring the knees in towards your chest. Just move around for a second. And now from here, keep the thighs straight up and down. You can keep the feet kind of relaxed. Take your hands on the thighs close to the knees. And then for this next one, I want you to do it without rounding the back. So let's just cat-cow the pelvis a couple of times So you feel both directions. And then pause somewhere in the middle. Breathe in. On the exhale, press hands and legs into each other. See if you can hollow the belly without tucking the pelvis under for this version. It's different. And then inhale, back off. Do that 2 more times so the spine retains its neutral curves. And last one, last one. Great. Relax. Just give the legs a little stir. And next we'll meet hands and knees position. So take your time to get there. If you need to rearrange your props, you can. Let's have your strap handy if you're using a strap, and also have the blocks handy just in the front there. And then I have to reset my hair for a second. Story of my life. All right, friends. So setting up for your all fours, just without any props, just normal. And begin to move through cat-cow just as you normally would. Yeah. Now we're going to add on some of the things that we were doing a second ago on your back. See if you can lengthen out the exhales and really hollow the belly. So the belly draws in to the body. And on the inhales, you'll let it go. So just like before, we'll find that hollow state and maybe a little pause on empty. And it should help you out here as the exhale happens. Just press a little more downward through the shins and downward through the fingers. Great. Let's take it one more time. Yeah. And then press back to child's pose for a moment. We'll keep the arms forward. Go up onto your fingertips. Yes. Now, if you can maintain this hand position in all fours, do. If that bothers your hands, just come flat again. We'll take a few more rounds of our cat-cow with the long exhale. And those of you who are up on the fingertips, you might find that you have a little more space now to round the back. Yeah. Good, 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 good. This is also a really good hand strengthener. Next time you round, let's go back to child's pose. This time, just flip the hands over and move the fingers a little bit, any which way. Yeah, okay. So next, we'll come into a little Houdini situation. So if you're using the strap, you'll stick it through the legs through again in the same place we just had. Then if you have blocks, you'll set up the blocks. Let's go medium height, hands on the blocks. Yay. And now Susie's got new blocks. She can play with those. So once, yeah, I know it's a little annoying to get in there, but once you're there, just for a second, let's fool with the shoulders a little bit. So let your chest just kind of hang down. And then do the opposite. Press firmly into the hands and let the back round up a little bit. Do one more of each. And now set yourself up somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. Great. Now from here, let's tuck the toes under. Breathe in. On the exhale, firm the belly, lift the knees and the shins off the floor and press out into your strap. Yes. And then on the inhale, we come right back down. So just a couple of those more. On the exhale, we lift and press. Try to keep the spine neutral, so not cat spine. Inhale to come down. I know it's a lot on the hands. Let's do 2 more. And then on this last one, we'll stay for a moment. So stay there. Keep the thighs pressing out. Notice your ankles are probably going apart. Can you hug in through the ankles? Lift up through the low belly without rounding the back. Yes. You know, I'm looking at you too. You look great. You look great. Come down, rest for a second. It's a little awkward with the strap on, but you could shift back. You could put the elbows on the blocks if you want. You could circle out the wrists for a second. It is a lot on the hands. Okay. So last little section here. Some of you, if you are on the tops of your feet, the feet cramp, if you know that's you, you'll do another round of what we just did, toes tucked under. If you're okay with the feet like this, it'll look like this when you come up. You can try that out. It's a little bit harder. If it's a no-go, just keep the toes tucked under, all right? So let's do 4, and on the last one, we hold. Inhale. On the exhale, lift. On the inhale, down. Good. Again, lift. And down. And lift. And down. Now this last one will stay. Keep the thighs pressing, hug in through the ankles. Keep your spine in neutral. And done, release. Okay, you guys, we're done with those. Let's get rid of our strap, and then we'll give our poor hands a break after those. Yeah, you guys at home doing great. Let's circle out the wrist a couple of times. And these two here are glaring at me, just if you wondered. All right, let's come on to the belly. Yeah. And just make a little pillow for your forehead, rest the head. I'm gonna keep my head up so I can talk. Scoot your legs one at a time back and down just to give a little extra room there. Bend the knees and give the legs a little swish from side to side, just easy. Yeah, good, good. All right, we'll set the legs down and reset your hands so the hands slide a little forward, the elbows come in, but keep the elbows further ahead of your shoulders. Yeah, that's it. And you can take the hands more like this. Great. Now, for a second, let yourself drop down in the chest. And then just that spot in between the navel and the pubic bone, find a little lift there. Press the hands down and try to pull back as the chest starts to come forward and up. But keep that engagement here at the lowest part of the belly. And then lower yourself down. Yeah? Let's do that again. So press down, lift up just in front of the, in between pubic bone and navel, pull back and lift. Yeah, so a little back bend and then down. And do it one more time and we'll stay. Now, if you're joining me for the next bit, instead of pulling the hands, the forearms back, you're gonna push forward and go up onto your knees. And in this position, it's kind of plank-like, the back will be a little bit rounded. If you're not coming up, you'll just stay down, and then everybody will come down. Let's do 2 more rounds. So lift up through the belly, start with a pull, hands pull back, and then if you're coming up, change it to a push as you lift. And then down. One more time, lift, pull. If you're coming up, change it to a push. Now, we'll hold this one. You can decide if you want to make it harder, you can go straight legs, either toes tucked under or tops of the feet on the floor. And you're like, no, yeah, not happening. All right, and whatever you've done, we're done, because I was about to fall out. Okay, just rest the forehead on the hands. Take a little wiggle again, little movement there in the hips. Exactly. All right, and then I think our hands are sufficiently rested. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Go ahead, once you get there, take any kind of movement. It might feel really nice just to wiggle or shift or twist. Just take whatever you need to do here. And then we'll come hands and feet together, a forward fold. Any way you want to get there is fine. Bend the knees a little bit, root down through the legs. Then on the inhale, come all the way up, lift the arms. And release the arms. Yeah, let's take a little hula hoop asana just to celebrate coming up to stand. And then you'll go the other direction. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do a little work in mountain pose. Let's take your hands like this. So one hand on the belly, one hand on the back. And stand with your feet a little bit apart. Take a breath in. And then a slow breath out, and see if you can find that engagement through the belly without rounding, without tucking, yeah? You might feel a little bit of lengthening in the lower back, but try not to round. And then on the inhale, back off. Let's do that again. On the exhale, find it. You might even ever so slightly shift back. And on the inhale, let it go. Yeah, just let the arms go too. Then we're gonna do it with the arms overhead. So on the inhale, send the arms up. Stay for the exhale, find it again, that engagement, almost like there's a drawstring around your waist. And then on the inhale, relax. Take it one more time on the exhale. Good. Inhale, let it go a little bit. And now on the exhale, let's take forward fold. Uttanasana, come all the way down. Take a halfway lift. And then down you come here, hands to the floor. Let's go back to plank pose. And then plank to the belly. Any way you want to get down there. Keep the hands right as you have them. Lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor and point back through the elbows. So it's a little bit cobra-ish. Now on the inhales, don't go anywhere. Try to pull the mat back, pull the chest forward, create a little lift. And then on the exhales, we come down. Do a couple more of those. And if you'd like to also lift the legs, that's an option. If you're getting any sort of pinch sensation in the lower back, go less. Don't go up as high, and think of more of a forward and back than an up and down. Yeah, let's hold this last one in the up position. Now, even though we're in a back bend, can you create that little tone at the lowest part of the belly, and perhaps lift the hands just a little bit off the floor? If that's a no-go, don't worry about it. All right, guys, down come the hands. Let's press back, child's pose with the toes tucked under. Stay there, add in a little side to side if that feels good. And then we'll reset coming to all fours position, hands and knees. Stretch your right leg back with the toes tucked under and just give a little push and pull forward and back. Yeah, keep the legs straight so you get a little more of a calf stretch out of it. And then let's switch to the second side. So left leg goes back, toes tucked under, a little push and pull. Good. All right, friends, let's head back to side one. Right leg is back. Scooch the left knee just a little bit further forward. Yeah. Now from this position, if your feet don't have a tendency to cramp, you'll keep the top of the foot on the floor. If you know the feet cramp, then tuck the toes under. Let's breathe in. On the exhale, press the left foot into the floor and just hover the left knee. It's not going to go high. That's it. On the inhale, come back down. Do a couple more of those and see if you can keep a neutral spine here rather than going into a big rounded position. Yeah, oh yeah, that's good. That's good, good, good. And then I think I lost count. Let's finish up the one you're on. Come down to rest. Let's take child's pose with the toes tucked under, spider fingers in the hands. And then up to you if you want more toe stretch. If it doesn't bother your knees, you can walk back and come sit on your heels. If it bothers your knees, just stay down with the hands. But if you're up there, let's breathe in. On the exhale, find again that tone. Yeah. And then on the inhale, let it go. Let's do two more of those. Nice slow exhales. And maybe the feet get squashed even more. All right. And then relax. Let's come forward. Untuck the toes. Give them just a little shake out. And then we'll do our last side of these. Just take the left leg back, toes tucked under, scooch the right knee a little bit forward. Inhale. On the exhale, press into the top of the foot, hover the knee, but keep the spine in neutral. A lot of work for the low belly. Inhale to come down. Do that a couple more times. So the lift happens on the exhale, nice slow exhale. Yeah, keep the top of the foot pressing down. Gorgeous. Well done, you guys. And then when enough is enough, let's go back to downward facing dog just for a second. And then we'll come feet and hands meet, forward fold, root down to rise up. Inhale, we stand. Good, circle out the wrists as you bring the arms down. And while we're here, let's take a slightly wider than normal stance, little bend in the knees, and just slither asana. You can move around any which way. Yeah. Okay, you guys, any questions, anything you want to say? Nothing. All right. No. So I'll check you out on the next one. What I think is happening, I think you're going too much into a little too much of an arch. So see if you can pull in a little bit more in here, and we'll do that on the next round. So let's come to the front of the mat. Root down through your legs. Inhale, we're up, arms to the sky. Exhale, down we go, forward fold. Come up halfway, lengthen. And then lower down, let's step back to plank pose. We're not gonna stay. From plank pose, lower the knees and go about halfway back to child's pose. So the hips don't go all the way back. Yeah, I like toes tucked under, but you could do tucked or flat, your choice. Now from here, press the hands into the floor and that spot right below the navel. Lift up a lot there as you start to round and come through cat pose. Do more here. Yeah, and then keep coming forward rounded until you can't anymore. The spine will start to unravel, but don't lose the support here. I'll show you how it looks if you lose it. See how you kind of collapse? Keep the lift. More. Yeah. And then lift up and back halfway to child's pose. So let's take that sequence a couple of times. Press into the floor, round, lift up, just below the navel. And then you'll unravel, you'll let it go a little bit to get there, but don't let it go completely. Keep the lift. Yeah. And then lift it up even more as you send yourself back halfway to child's pose. Let's take one more time, forward and back. Now see if you can lift the chest, but also lift up right in here. Yeah. And then back we go, child's pose. Just rest this time in child's pose. Yeah. All right, you guys. And then from your position here, let's head into a quickie down dog. And from your down dog, standing forward, fold any way you want to get there. Root down to rise up, arms lift up overhead. Give the wrists some circles as you lower the arms down. Yeah. Next we'll take, it's kind of a warrior two sequence, but a little different from classic warrior two. So stand in the middle of your mat. Let's separate your feet out nice and wide. And I'll mirror you guys at home. So the left leg will turn in, the right leg will turn out, and go ahead and bend the right knee like you would do for warrior two. Now from here, let's actually crisscross the arms in front of the chest, kind of mummy style. And back off a little bit on the knee bend. Try to pull your navel towards the front foot. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the knee deeper, turn the chest to the long end of the mat, but keep the navel pulling to the front foot. It's kind of deep side belly. And then up we come. Do that a few more times. So on the exhale, we'll bend and turn, but the whole time the navel's pulling to the front foot. Yeah, you got it. And then last one, we'll stay with the knee bent. You guys look like hieroglyphics. And then we'll open up the arms nice and wide. Classic warrior two, but keep the navel moving towards the front foot and the chest opening. It's almost a little bit of a twist. Yeah, so we'll repeat that same concept. Let's bring hands to the hips. Let the pelvis tilt and the right forearm rest on the right thigh. Left hand will just stay up there on the hip. Let's turn the chest a little towards the floor. Again, draw the navel towards the front foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest open, but keep the navel towards the front foot. Inhale to come back to center. Do that a couple more times. It's a little bit of a tongue twister for the body. Yeah. Great. And then on this last one, let's press into the heels, come back up to the center. You got it. And we'll change to side 2. So the right leg turns in. The left leg will turn out. Let's do mummy arms. Bend the front knee, but just a little bit. Turn the navel towards the front foot. And when you do that, the whole torso will turn a little bit. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the knee deeper. Turn the chest parallel to the long end of the mat. Inhale to back off a little bit. Do that a couple more times. So on the exhale, we turn, but the navel stays pulling towards the front foot. All right, friends, next time we'll stay. We'll separate the arms out wide, a little more like classic warrior 2. Navel stays this way, chest turns that way. Good, good. And then hands to the hips. Let's tilt the pelvis, rest the left forearm on the thigh, right hand is to the hip. Turn the navel towards the front foot. Inhale. On the exhale, open up the chest, but keep the navel pulling that away. Inhale to back off. Let's do that a couple more times. So the exhale is where we turn and create the effort. The inhale is where we back off. One more time. Yeah. And then when you're ready, up we come to center. We will next parallel the feet and make sure one's not ahead of the other. Hands to the hips for a second. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale. On the exhale, forward and down we go, landing the hands. It's called Prasarita Padottanasana. You can grab a block if you need. Yeah. And then from this position, yogis, remember in the beginning you had that strap around the thighs. Pretend you've got another, a bigger one. Press out into your imaginary strap. And then press down through the ball of the big toe at the same time. Keep that. Let the hips start to lift. The legs will go straighter. And then a few options for arms. I like taking arms forward. You could try that, kind of like down dog. Some of you might like taking the arms back, maybe even pulling the head to the floor. That's not me today, but maybe it's you. Yeah. Now, whatever shape you've taken, don't be aggressive about it, but see if you can create a little tone through the low belly. Just a little bit, yeah. And then wherever your hands went, let's reset. Hands just underneath the shoulders, small bend in the knees. Press out into your imaginary strap. Tone through the belly, hands to the hips, and just come up through the center. Yay. All right, bring the feet back together. Just take a second, move around a little bit. Okay, yeah, how about hula hoop? All righty. So next, we'll take a few standing back bends. They're very, very small, but I want you to think about this happening like we did earlier. So let's come to the front of the mat. Feet just a little bit apart, hips width distance. Let's inhale the arms up. Stay, and on the exhale, find that drawstring effect, all sides of the waist narrowing in. And then on the inhale, back off a little bit. Let's do that again on the exhale, and then still on the exhale, if it feels all right to lift up and maybe arc back a little bit, do. And then on the inhale, you're just in center. So we'll do 2 more of those with or without the little back bend. And some of you might indeed go further than I am, but I want you to keep the support here. Yeah, and I would advise don't just do the upright because the back bend might aggravate. Yeah, good, good, good. All right, friends. And then from here, let the arms release. Just do a little in and out. Okay. And then we'll come down forward fold position into plank position, just normal plank with straight arms. If you need to do an alternative, that's fine. Can you clear the shoulders? Inhale. On the exhale, find that little lift just below the navel, but try to keep more or less neutral spine here. Yeah, lift. Think of the back ribs lifting. Yeah, oh yeah, that's it, that's it, that's it. Just what they don't want to do, right? And then everybody come down to rest on the belly. Oh yeah, just take a second. Okay, friends. So next we'll do cobra. Earlier we did like this itty bitty cobra. You could repeat that if that felt good for you. If you want to go up higher, let me show a couple possibilities. You could do so with the hands in the same position and come up higher. You could take the arms forward and go kind of wide and come up like this. Another version that I think is rather nice is fingers face each other and the elbows go kind of wide, and then you come up like about halfway. So we'll do 3. You can do mix and match, or you could find one that you like the best and keep that. What I want you to think about is, even though we're going into a back bend, you want to still keep the support here. Yeah? All right, so let's go. We'll just pick your hand position. And when you're ready, up you come into your cobra. Keep the collarbones wide, but keep the support low. Yeah. And then down we come. Nice. I'm going to do all 3 positions. You could join me or just stick with the one you like. Up we come, any amount. Keep the lift down low. And release. Last one here. Yeah. Yeah. And then down we come. Rest the forehead down on the hands, bend the knees, give the legs a swish. And then we'll set the legs back down. Head into down dog with wide feet. Wide feet, downward dog. You could go as wide as your mat or even step off the mat a little bit. And then let's bend the knees here. Pretend you had the strap around the thighs and press out. And then hug in a little through your ankles. Feel free to keep the knees bent. If the back is a little tender after what we just did, it might feel better to keep knees bent. If you're good to go straighter in the legs, go ahead and do. Keep that pressure of the thighs pressing out into your imaginary strap, and let the ankles continue to hug in towards the midline. Yeah, then when you're ready to get out, let's keep the feet wide, bend your knees, walk your hands back, heading to the back of the mat, and just prop up the forearms on the thighs. Yeah, send the inner groins back, move the chest forward, keep a little pressure out into your imaginary strap, and come up on the inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, release the arms. Yeah, and just roll the shoulders in and out a couple of times. And let's do just a little wiggle, anything goes. Okay, great. So next we'll take a balance pose. Doesn't really matter what balance you do. I'm gonna do tree pose, but let me show you what I want you to work on here. So we'll come into your shape, and then on the exhale, we find this happening, that kind of support structure all around the core. Yeah, so I'll talk you through that within a couple of different versions. So let's come into your pose with the right leg up, either tree pose or something else. Let's go ahead and just get there. And we'll take hands to prayer. Now go slowly with this. Inhale. On the exhale, find that contraction here. Nice and slow, and maybe even a little pause on empty. And then on the inhale, let it go somewhat. Find it again, nice and slow on the exhale. Yeah, you can put your hand on the wall if you need. Great. And if you want to try it with the arms up, lift the arms. Keep the arms up, and still on the exhale, find that hug in effect. Yeah. You might feel that your whole body is shifting back just a tiny amount. Yeah. And then when you're ready to get out, we'll stand and try not to fidget. Release the arms. You can close the eyes even, just reconnect. All right. Open the eyes if they were closed, and we'll set up for our second side. So the left leg comes up into your tree pose or something else. Take a second just to get there. Let's take hands to prayer. Inhale, just normal inhale, and then slow exhale, firming in on the exhale. Try to keep neutral curves in the spine. Inhale to back off. And again, slow exhale. Let everything create tone right in here. Yeah, and then if you'd like to lift the arms, try it out with the arms overhead. On the exhales, find that forming in. Yeah, I didn't see it. All right, yogi. And then let's release. And just stand again. Try to not fidget. Let the eyes close maybe. Take a breath. Okay. And then open up your eyes. Make your way to the front of the mat if you're not already there. Root down through the legs. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, take the hands to prayer, bend the knees, and sit the hips back for a chair pose, Utkatasana. Yeah. Now, remember when you had the strap, press out into your imaginary strap, root down through the ball of the big toe, shift back a little deeper. Now, this was a long time ago. We were laying on the back and bridge doing the leg lift. Press one foot down a little more heavily, and don't lift the other one, but let it just become light. And then do the opposite side. So press down and lighten up the other one. Do you feel how that firms up the backs of the legs? Yeah. Now let's do it. Try to do it on both sides. That down. Yeah. Good. Shift back a little deeper. Keep pressing out into your strap, hugging in through the ankles. Neutral curve in the spine. So we don't want to tuck under, nor do we want to create an overly arched position. Somewhere in the middle. Yeah, we'll just stay here the rest of the class. Inhale. On the exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Yeah, take a half lift. And then let's go back to down dog. If you feel like doing the wide position in the legs, feel free. Otherwise, just normal. And then let's come down, rest in child's pose for a second. Yeah, rest the forehead some way, somehow. You could just do this, stacking the arms. If your hips are a little lifted, you could do this, put the elbows on the floor and rest your head in the hands. Yeah, this is kind of nice. Don't do it in public though, it looks sad. It just looks sad, but in yoga class is fine. All right, and then release the arms and let's come to sit. Swing the legs around. Yeah. Oh, you guys had the pleasure, we did this the other day, that the pullback and the heels. We're gonna do that again. So let's sit down with the knees bent and see here on my feet, the toes are up and the heels are down. So let's start there. Prop up onto the fingertips. And then you'll press the heels down into the floor and try to drag them back towards your buttocks. Press the fingers into the floor and lift the chest broad and the collarbones. Yeah. So here we are. It's a little bit similar to boat pose, even though it doesn't quite look like it. Keep your heels pulling back towards the buttocks. Take one arm straight ahead. If that felt like a lot, put it down and switch. If it felt pretty okay, take the other arm up to join, but don't lose the action of the heels pulling back. Now, if you're able to, hinge back just a smidge, like an inch, but try not to round back. Do more of a hinge back. Yeah, and then without changing anything else, slowly start to bend the elbows and let the hands move towards your chest. You won't likely get all the way there. Yeah, keep the heels pulling back. And then take the arms forward, and we'll just do one more of those. Keep the heels pulling back, start to bend the elbows. Hands come, oh man, I cannot even talk. And then rest. Yeah, just take a second. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Yes, indeed, it will work the backs of the legs. Let me show, let's actually try this, experiential learning. So have the hands behind you, start in the same position. And now instead of pulling back the heels, press the heels forward. And do you feel how that engages more the front of the legs? And do you also feel how the back naturally wants to round when you do that? Yeah. So let's do the opposite. Press the heels down, try to pull them back. That'll engage the backs of the legs, which is the connected. It's the whole back of the back line of the body. So that's why the lower back starts to draw in. Now, if you're able to take the arms forward, do. If you're able to hinge back just a smidge, do. Now let's keep the left leg doing its thing, pressing down and pulling back. Lift the right leg up, and now you'll feel the front of the leg engage. Yeah, it's work. And then down, swap, right heel pulls back, left leg lifts. Front of the left leg is engaged, back of the right leg is engaged. And then down. You could do that again, one on each side, or you could do one and then the other. You might have to lean back a little bit. Yeah. Okay, yogis, boat pose Navasana. Nobody's favorite pose. And then down we come, rest. Yeah, stretch out the legs, just jiggle it out. Babasana. Okay, done with those, yay. After that, we probably want to stretch a little through the hip flexor. So let's come down onto your back, bend the knees, take the feet wide, and then from here, let both knees drop to the right and stay like that. If it feels okay to stretch the arms up by your head, do that and give the left arm just a little extra tug. Now, if you want to add on, and you don't have to, but if it feels all right, stretch the left knee towards the foot end of the mat. Let the pelvis tuck under a little bit and let the low belly lift a little bit, and that might give you a little more stretch in the left front of the hip. And then we'll back off. Let's come up and over, knees drop left. If it feels all right to pull back the arms, especially the right arm, do. If it feels all right to reach the right knee towards the foot of the mat, do. Let the pelvis tuck under and find a little lift through the belly. This side is intense for me. All right, and then come back to the center. Take the left foot and bring the foot underneath so it's in between the right buttock and the right foot. So it goes like that. Now, some of you will hover, some of you will touch the floor. If you need to put a prop under the leg, you can. And then if it feels okay to pick up the right knee and bring it in towards your chest, that's an option too. Yeah, so even though you're holding onto the right, I am guessing that you'll be feeling this on the left side. Yeah. Now, very, very small amount. Let's breathe in normal amount. And then on the exhale, just a little bit. Let the belly hollow down. Let the back ribs move towards the floor. Then on the inhale, you'll back off a little bit and go again, nice and slow, nice and small on the exhale. You don't want to just go really aggressive with this one. Yeah, okay, and then let's undo. Reset, side two. The right foot will scoop underneath and the knee will go towards the floor, maybe to the floor. If you need a prop, take it. And then if it feels okay to bring the left, the side, left leg in, maybe you do, maybe you don't. The two sides might be quite different. And then inhale, just normal inhale. Find that same slow exhale at the belly, hollow down in a gentle way. Be really soft with it. Inhale to let it go a bit. And then one more time on the exhale. Yeah. Great. When you're ready to get out of this, 2 feet on the floor. Let's now take your hands to the thighs, but close to the hip crease. Breathe in. On the exhale, same thing we've been doing. You'll press the hands into the thighs and let the belly hollow down. Little pause on empty. Inhale to back off the pressure. Let's do that 2 more times. And with this version, hopefully you'll get a little space right in here. All right, friends. So we're heading into Shavasana, our final resting pose. You know, before we get there, let's just pause for a second. We started in this position with the strap, remember? And let's see if anything has changed. So notice the curve of your low back and the way that hips, the back of the pelvis meets the floor. And just see if anything has changed. Maybe the curve has shifted or the weight distribution has changed. Yeah. And then from here, if it feels good, stretch the legs straight, go ahead and do that. If that doesn't feel so good, you could keep the knees bent, maybe let the feet go wide and the knees drop in, or you could put a prop under the thighs or take any other position. And now as you settle in here, our final resting pose, see if you can let the belly relax. We did a lot of work here today. For the moment, just let it go. Within the Shavasana shape, I'll talk you through a little loving kindness meditation. And you can just listen to the words as I say them. And if you like, you can just repeat them in your own head. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. And bring into mind a person that you care about. May this person be happy. May this person be healthy. May this person be free from suffering. May this person be happy. May this person be healthy. May this person be free from suffering. Bring your attention to someone else who's in our class today, maybe in the room with me or on Zoom. Pick a person. May this person be happy. May this person be healthy. May this person be free from suffering. May this person be happy. May this person be healthy. May this person be free from suffering. May all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings everywhere be healthy. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering. May all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings everywhere be healthy. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering. Bring your attention back to yourself, your physical body, and start to create a little bit of movement anywhere, anyhow. Whenever you're ready, let your knees bend and just gently roll to one side, come up to sit, no rush. We'll meet with hands at heart center. May we all be happy, healthy, and free from suffering. Namaste.